Hey, the Kokomo Press Podcast is back. I'm your host, Jordan Grainger, and I'm joined by one of the greatest co-hosts of all time, Jordan Bell, a.k.a. Hypocrisy Jones. On our panel, we have two great guests, Eric and Bri Sisk of Ignite Recovery Systems, a local recovery group / program that helps people, outside of the faith system, outside of the AA, the NA, outside of the government assistance. And we're so happy to have them in the house to talk recovery, talk about their unique approach, and, what kind of gave them the calling to help people in need. We talked about so much, including the new Kanye album that dropped. Of course, we got to talk Vultures, with Bell and I are in the room. We talked about Ozzy Osbourne being upset. We talked a little bit about the big game, the Super Bowl, Usher. We talked Taylor Swift. We talked about it all. We had a wonderful time on this episode with Eric and Bri, and we hope you enjoy another exciting episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby. Woo!
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
What's up? It's Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm Jordan Grainger, and we're back with another exciting episode. We have a great panel today, but as always, I have to throw to my co-host and the producer of so many podcasts.
What's up, yo? Yeah, I do a lot of podcasts. I just left a podcast to do this podcast.
I saw that. Jordan Bell, anyway. Hypocrisy Jones.
Yo?
He's a man of many names.
Yeah.
And our guests today, we have a husband and wife duo, and they represent a recovery group called Ignite Recovery Systems. First, in the black chair, we have Eric Sisk.
Hello.
Thanks for coming to the show.
I appreciate you having me.
And in our green chair, we have Bri Sisk.
Hello, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you guys so much. Let's do a little. Oh, there we go.
Make it official. There we go. There we go. Thank
Yeah.
you guys for coming on.
Yeah, thank
Really
you so
appreciate
much
it.
for reaching out. I know we talked a little bit before this, but a guy named Joshua Sturgill, who we have interactions with on Facebook all the time, I don't think I've ever met him in person, but he was like, would you guys be interested? I know it's kind of, I don't know if this is like, man, we love having so many different people on. We've had magicians,
Nice.
actors, directors. What's some weird ones we've had?
OnlyFans.
That's true.
Content creators.
Models.
A little bit of
Models.
everything. We've had mayoral candidates, if YB counts.
Yeah.
We've had a little bit of everything on here, but that's what this is. It's a community satire page where we try to,
Outreach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Ignite and how you guys, I know you guys told us you started in November. So tell us what made you guys want to start in a recovery group.
Well, while we were still getting high and stuff, we talked about wanting to share like our spiritual ideas with people, and it kind of the thought evolved into wanting to recover ourselves, and it kind of turned into that. And we have a lot of big goals. Like right now, we have a few things going on. I'm sure we'll talk about, but like our goals, like sober living homes, like that are different than what's going on now. Like everybody's backed by the city and stuff, and we're just trying to get away from all of their bullshit and do our own thing.
Red tape.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Restrictions. And
Restrictions,
They
that's the
want to
big one.
control it in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this whole group of people that just fall through the cracks when it comes to, addiction or mental health and homelessness. And those are the people that we would really like to connect with and like build something for, you know.
Absolutely.
We don't want to have to like be controlled by, for one, the city, but for two, the state, the government, all those kinds of things. We're super like anti-government. So if we can run things our own way, sort of figure out how we're going to be self-funded and make it work, man. We just want to help the people that get lost in the shuffle of help, which seems odd, but that it happens a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of cracks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cracks in every system, especially in government systems. Now, you're talking to me. I'm very much a libertarian, so I'm like, kind of get me away from the government. Can we, get, private? And that's where people like you step up who say, we want to help people who come from where we come from and maybe give them a hand outside of a government hand that also comes with like a hand, but it also comes with like a leash. Here's a leash.
Yeah,
You know what I
short
mean?
one.
They want one hand on
Yeah.
your hand and the other on a leash. And it's interesting because we have a few different groups in town that do like recovery, and a lot of them, like you said, are involved in the government. Ignite, what besides obviously outside of the system of the government, what I saw you guys have a couple of different things. This is another thing you guys have here, and I wanted to pull. And then I have this. This is you guys are kind of what you offer. So peer coaching, group meetings, Dress for Success closet that you guys are taking donations from, which is great. Mock interviews, navigation, transportation. Can you guys tell me a little bit about these things that you guys are wanting to do?
Yeah, so we've got like a group of people together that are offering our services. We've got a few certified peer recovery coaches. So we're trying to offer that to people. It's just a person to help guide them through their recovery and whatever their recovery is, not like whatever kind of program that we want to try to impose. It's whatever their recovery is and that they want to do. And then we have our group meeting that we do. We do it at 7 p.m. every Friday right now. Our location kind of got iffy.
Sundays.
Yeah, Sundays, what did I say?
Friday.
Oh, Sundays at 7 p.m., yeah. Our location got a little bit iffy. We've been holding it at our house for last week and this week, but we'll have that set up here soon. And I created my own curriculum for it, so it's not like NA or AA or whatever. We're calling it MAPS, which is Mastering and Planning Success.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
You
kind
know
of
it's good when there's an acronym.
Yeah. Gotta have gotta have that. But it's all about kind of like taking your power back, you know? I think that a lot of the curriculums or aspects of recovery that are out there are about, I don't know, you kind of lose yourself, you know? You got to lose yourself to gain yourself. And I feel like if you're already lost, what more can you lose, you know? And
Absolutely.
So we want people to realize their worth and love themselves and then grow from that, you know, that base into something.
Well, I know a lot of those systems are like based on like, you know, you're saying take your power back, and a lot of those systems are based on giving power to something else, letting that control,
finding your higher power.
And that's where I struggled with it. Like I believe in God. I like spiritual self. Like we have in us what everything is. But anyways, like the power thing, it bothered me going through NA and AA. Like you're powerless over your addiction, powerless, and that I struggle with that a lot because you got to take that power and like do something with it. And it's all about perception, but that bothered me. So it's like giving people another look on the whole thing to where there's more avenues, like all past recovery type thing.
A different pathway that doesn't involve like somebody else's version of what powerlessness, giving it to like a being, because you can have faith and still feel like, man, you know, this is about me.
Well, recovery should be empowering because it absolutely is about like yourself, like because you only have to offer what you are to yourself, like your self-worth and everything. So that's a big thing, is just feeling good about it, you know, not feeling like you're helpless.
Absolutely. So I mean, it's an exciting situation in general. I want everybody to go to the Facebook page right now. We got 190 followers. Let's go make that like at least 200. Let's get 250. Let's get 300. Let's move it up, man. Let's get as many people as we can to be involved with this. I like that you guys are trying to find a way to like come up with a different system, because we know like, what's his name? I'm trying to remember. I had his name written down so many times, but the guy that came up with like AA, NA, and all these different programs, Bill something. Right?
Bill, that's all I remember.
There's so many like memes I see with him, because like, you know what I mean? These systems always start in one way and then they morph into something else. And then even with when they start, you start to find things out about the person that created it, and you're like, what's going on there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which it has helped a lot of people. I mean,
absolutely.
I like to recognize that. There's just more than all those places. It's like their way is the only way, and there's more than that.
More than one way to skin a cat, right? Which means that like there's definitely more than one way to find your own recovery.
Absolutely.
and to recovery from things. I think a lot of people that either follow or associate themselves, or us in general at the Kokomo Press, we identify with addiction and being affected by addiction, whether it was ourselves or a family member, a loved one, or things like that. And I don't know how many times I've said, man, I don't care how you are able to clean up. I just really just want you to be able to clean up for yourself and things like that. And I think that we need to hold true with that, because I don't think we hold true with that enough. We want somebody to be clean, but we want them to be clean this way.
Yeah.
And like, I think the ultimate goal is get clean, help yourself, and find yourself.
Yeah. And I like to think, or I've come to believe, that addiction isn't really what the problem is. The problem is the mental health, or the self-loving, or the spirituality, and the addiction is just a symptom of that. And we use it to kind of cope with ourselves, or, find a place that we fit in life when we don't fit in anywhere else, or, whatever. And the goal is to be happy, right? The goal is to be satisfied within yourself in your life. So that way, when you go to bed at night, you don't have all of these regrets, and you wake up in the morning and you're happy to be there, and you're excited about what the future holds. You have dreams and ambitions, and you meet your goals and create this existence for yourself that is loving and fulfilling, and that kind of just trickles down into all the other aspects of your life, and that's where you kind of put yourself first, and putting yourself first, it puts other people at that level, like your family members. And
Absolutely.
It reflects onto them. Like we talk about that a lot with the kids. Like we got a blended family, lots of kids, and the more I've noticed, the more that I've noticed I do to improve myself, it goes down to my wife and the kids and everything, and things just get better. And like that's where like recovery coaches to me are really important, because that gave me another level of accountability, and even now like helping other people, that's another level of accountability. And
Absolutely.
I think it's important for an addict to help a fellow addict, because like knowing where they've come from, and it's important to have people. It takes a village, to raise a family and to help people recover, whether it's drug addiction, mental health, any of it. Like it takes. We're not made to do this alone.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that a lot of people don't really put a lot of thought into is when you brought up the mental health aspect, and how you can have something going on in your life where you feel like there's this hole that you want to fill, and a lot of people will find like more socially acceptable ways to fill the hole, like food, porn, you know what I mean? Like, but then somebody who falls into the trap of, well, this drug works for me, or this thing works for me. And then it fills it for a while. And then before you find out, you're bottomed out and you're like, oh, the hole's way bigger. And I've realized that I got to fill it with other things.
Yep.
And I think that's where a good thing we're like having a big blended family. You got kids. It's, it's you keep your mind pretty busy. I mean, I got 4. I think, we have 6. 6.
We have a whole Brady Bunch, bro.
We have 7 on the weekends.
Oh, there you go.
Know the feeling.
Yeah, what are the age ranges from top to bottom?
16 to 3.
16. There you go.
Yeah.
The full gambit.
Yeah.
I'm at 14 to 3. So
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
What am I? I'm 18 to 12 plus animals.
So you can't relate to us then.
Yeah, no.
The 3-year-old is really what got us.
Yeah.
I ain't got no more babies. I ain't changing no more diapers.
We're almost done, man. I'm trying to get that 3-year-old. He's a little ornery, man.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't want to do nothing. You have boys and girls, like a healthy mix?
Girl. There's a girl.
One girl.
I got 4 and 1 girl, so like 3 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
Right.
You got 1 girl too.
It's 5 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 1 girl too.
It's funny how it's always either one way or the other.
Yeah.
A family full of girls. And,
We're outnumbered.
Yeah.
I got 2 biological boys, and my little brother has 2 bio girls, and so we always joke that he only makes girls, I only make boys. So we're both done, so the joke's over. Like we're not doing it anymore. So we win. It's the end of it all. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if you guys heard recently. I know one of the big things that came up in the news is there's the big games coming up. This is Monday. Today it's Sunday.
WrestleMania?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Long story.
The big game, the Super Bowl. I don't think I can get sued for saying Super Bowl, can I?
I don't.
I guess you have to be a business.
Can you
don't
not?
Make any
You're
money.
not supposed to say Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
guess
we have
you'll find
recovery
out.
people here. We don't talk about Super Bowls.
Oh.
In our Marawambies comment. That's one of the things we brought up when you guys first got here. Was like,
Yeah.
we're both wearing our Marawambies gear, but we're in a movie.
But I don't know. I think this is kind of apropos because if you look at like creatives like Brian Foster, like ourselves, everybody that's in like Marawambies and does like Canary Currency or the the huge amount of podcasts that are in this area. I just saw a couple more that it pop up, and
There's
I was
more?
like, "There's more."
Shout them out. Who we got?
I can't remember their name except for JC, the basketball coach.
Yeah.
He's doing one now.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and
My son just went to his basketball clinic thing on Thursday.
there's a few more, but I think sometimes a lot of like you find people that like have went through things in their past, whether it be addiction or codependency addiction and things like that, and you find that once they found themselves, they kind of like branched out and opened up their creativity, opened up themselves and things like that through art and things like that. And I think that's a testament to what like Mayor Wambies is right there. It may be it may be kind of cynical or or comedy adjacent because it's a zombie movie about a zombie movie about marijuana. Is that how we do that?
Yeah.
But there's art in that, and there's that creativity that this person found in themselves that maybe they didn't have at one point, and this is what they turned it into. And I love that part. It's just because it's art, and I love everything that you guys have expressed too, because you're taking people that are down and you're just helping to mold them into what they are. You're not molding them by your hands, but you're helping them to mold themselves. You know what I mean? And to find themselves. And hopefully they find themselves so that they can make a creative outlet for themselves or for someone else, or an outlet for somebody else just to help. And that's what community is.
Even if it's harm reduction, like I don't shut down anything. Like if somebody smokes weed or whatever, or drinks some beers every now and then, whatever they do, like some people can do that, and there's some people that can't. And there's some people that can get to that point eventually. Like it's just about doing better. Like some people can't shut it down immediately. Some people need like medication assisted treatment. Some people might need some weed every now and then to stop doing heroin. You know, like just like it's just what it is. It's just progress, not perfection.
There's not a one size fit all.
Never.
There's not a one prescription to fix it. I mean, and anything in life, like we notice that. So it's weird how people sometimes have that idea when it comes to recovery. It's like you don't have that for food. You don't have that for. Right. I mean, literally, there's not a one size fit all for anything.
Nope.
Ever.
No.
We're individuals. We might be a lot alike, but we're different.
Yeah. I've known people that because one of the things that's happening in the world is that marijuana has become legal in a lot of places. I mean, we're surrounded by states. Like if you're from Indiana, you have access. You just have to drive north, south, or north, south, east. I mean, you just drive in a direction and you can find. I even
Just
think
pick a border.
Kentucky even has medical right now.
I believe so, yeah.
So there's medical in Kentucky. Ohio, I think, just legalized it for everything, right?
I think they're
Illinois did,
yeah.
and so did Michigan. So
yeah, it was weird. We were just in Michigan unfortunately for a friend of mine that passed away, but there's these shops around and signs for shops and stuff. That's new to me to be able to see.
It was
those
interesting.
things.
It was cool. It was cool.
It's a different vibe. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people. There's that old adage where like it's the gateway drug, but really, like when it comes to it, like if marijuana wasn't legal, I know a lot of people that probably would have just stopped there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and to me, it's like. You see like big figures and like Snoop Dogg is huge in culture. You know what I mean? You've got people like Seth Rogen, Joe Rogan. You got all the Rogans. You just throw some Rogans.
Right.
But you've got people who are huge in the culture that are doing things creative, doing things in media, doing all and they are able to, smoke a little bit. And it depends on the person. So like I saw a recent article. I'll bring that up. Let me see if I can find it. My brain isn't working. Well, So this was what it is. So this was the National Institute of Health, and I read this. It says young men at the highest risk of schizophrenia linked with cannabis use disorder. So like even with cannabis, even with marijuana or medical marijuana or something that could be legal, there's a lot of health data coming out now that if you have a predisposition to like schizophrenia, it can actually create make it worse, create those pathways even stronger and unlock almost that gene. And so it's one of those things where when we're talking about there's not a one size fit all, some people can smoke and that's all they do. And then some people, they can have a psychotic break from it. You know what I mean? Anything can happen in these situations. So I think anytime you introduce what do they call it? Is it anabolic and out of your body? Anything anabolic from out of your body into yourself, you just don't know what could happen. And I mean, I read something recently about a young kid that went to New York. Did you guys hear about this? And he was just hanging out in New York, and I guess he had caught some type of just like a flu, not like a COVID, nothing like that. And it affected him to the point where he got inflamed, and then he had an aneurysm. And all he did was get a flu from coming to an area. You know what I mean? Something crazy like that can just happen at any time. So to me, it's like things enter your body, things exit your body. We really just have to find a way to like get people back to square one. You know, that's what I mean.
Absolutely.
And there's people that, I mean, I've known people who can smoke a little weed every now and then and be fine. And I've known people that are like crackheads on weed, you know, like, and that's all they ever want to do. So it's just individual for sure.
It kind of like goes down to the core of who you are as a person, you know, because if you're struggling in life and your mental health's not great and you're using marijuana maybe as a coping mechanism, then you might not, you know, you might be a little crackheadish with your weed. But you know, if you're in a place where you feel comfortable smoking weed and your life is working out fine, then I don't know what the issue is with it, you know?
I mean, there's levels to that. Jordan was looking at me because I may be considered one of those heavy smokers, possibly. I don't know, but it's not something that I necessarily love. It's honestly like it's something that I kind of struggle with, if I'm being real sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, man, do I really need to do this all the time? Although it helps me feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more calm, and then
It's
I'm
like
able
anxiety.
I'm able to kind of settle myself a little bit, but I don't love that either. Like there are times where I'm like, man, I really need to make sure I cut down on this, and things like that. Yeah, I think it's all about self-regulation, and knowing what your limitations are, in a sense, and that can be hard to know in itself too, because you know we're all human and fallible.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, it's what's okay with you,
right?
You know, and what you want to do with your life, and where you're at, and what you're comfortable with. That's what matters, really.
Right.
It probably doesn't help when you go to parties like this, Jordan. This woman put a bong in her butt.
I was not there.
You weren't there? Okay, I was just wondering.
Wait, she put a whole bong
in her butt, and the whole festival smoked out of it while she was tied up.
I don't want that weed.
No.
She seems like she's having a good time.
She looks like she's having a great time.
I'd hope so, because that's a whole lot of trust between a whole lot of different people you don't know, man.
Oh yeah, I mean,
were they selling tickets or?
Are they doing this again? Where do you get those?
I hope she got compensated. I mean, you don't do that for free.
no, that's
No.
Oh man, I saw that. I was like, "This is perfect to break some brevity into the conversation," because I know it can get heavy when you're talking recovery. I know you guys do every Sunday 7 p.m. You guys are looking for a new location. Maybe we can put that feeler out to people if anybody knows.
That would be great.
Yeah, are you guys like trying to steer away from like churches and like things like that? Because I know sometimes that can get a little.
If it was just a
non-denominational locations.
If there was just a space to use, I mean, I don't see what would matter.
I would still prefer to be outside of a church.
I
want everybody to feel comfortable to be there.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah.
A single person to be like.
Well, now these churches are just an H.H. Greg's now. Do you guys?
Yeah.
We got a church in an H.H. Gregg. Just go in there and be like, no, this isn't a church. There's appliances over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No.
Well, as big as the TVs are there, you know.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh.
We've been using our house. We have pocket doors, so like we're able to close off the rest of our house, so that makes it a little more comfortable for us. But it's not like a permanent situation.
Understood.
Trust me, my studio's in my house. I know.
Yeah.
We'd love to have.
We understand the grind. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it nonetheless, though.
Right.
I definitely want to bring this up before I forget. We do have our open mic comedy coming up this Thursday. So for the first time, and then every Thursday after that. So if you're hearing this, it's coming up this Thursday, and then from then on, we'll be doing open mic comedy downstairs in the Comedy Den at Cooper's Pub. So check us out. It's at 8 p.m. If you're a comedian and you want to try to be a comedian, just come out 7:30, sign up, or message our page.
Yep,
pretty great. You're gonna be doing it first night, right?
Am I? Yeah, I guess I am.
I put you on the list.
You put me on the list.
I didn't even tell me, but I put you on the list.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess I gotta come up with material.
Whatever. I saw one of your jokes. We went down and did like a soft. I called it a soft opening, and then scared Brian, which is one of our other guys. He's like,
He just forgot his blue pill.
Yeah, he forgot his blue pill. But I was like a soft opening. But okay, let me. There you go. I forgot.
Thank you.
My bad. No, but we were talking about being a soft opening, and then we went down there and we were like setting things up, and then he did one of his new jokes that I thought was hilarious. So I just want you to do that. Close with that one.
Just do that one. All right.
Yeah. We're excited. You guys interested in any comedy? You guys into comedy at all? You guys watch any?
I like to laugh. I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys have a comedian where you're like, that's the one I like? Do you guys follow anybody in particular?
Not
No,
really
not
follow.
really.
No.
No.
You like dark humor, serious humor? Like, how do you like your comedy?
I like dark humor.
Okay,
For sure,
I kind of
yeah.
figured. I felt the vibe from
Yeah,
that.
like,
I like
super
dark humor.
inappropriate.
I also like the ridiculous, like Will Ferrell type stuff.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
I like the
Okay.
like intellectual dark humor kind of. I mean, I don't know. I like to laugh.
You like
Yeah.
the antics, the
Yeah,
craziness.
even like Ace Ventura stuff,
Oh,
all
yeah.
the way to Bernie Mac. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah. Bernie Mac.
I like that. I like
Yeah,
that.
we were talking a little bit about last week about it, but I'll bring it up again. One of my favorite comedians right now is Shane Gillis. He was on SNL, like he got SNL, and then like 2 days later he got fired from SNL for something he said on a podcast.
Nice.
Whoops, just like us. And he's he made some weird comments joking around, and then got fired, and now he's going to be hosting SNL, which is like
Yep.
a huge deal.
Cool.
So on February 24th, he's hosting with 21
21
Savage.
Savage.
Yeah, he's bringing back SNL. He just got a partnership with Bud Light, which
Yep.
is bringing back Bud Light. You know,
I don't feel like it's a good comedian unless they piss some people off.
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah,
Get-
no,
get
that's what
kicked
you're
out
supposed
of
to
the
do.
place.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if everybody likes you, then what are you saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you making statements or are you making jokes? Which one are we doing?
I intentionally make my comedy to piss off my mother. So I mean,
Yes.
Oh
I
man,
love that.
But this actual photo is based on a Shane Gillis bit. His
you make them at night.
he's making them at night. I'm making them at night. He has an uncle with Down syndrome that makes. Have you seen it?
Yep,
The
yep.
grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yes.
His uncle makes grilled cheese sandwiches and just brings them wherever they'll be out to eat. And they're like, "You guys have grilled cheese?" No, and he'll just like, "All right, pull them out." I saw this. It's great. I love that. Like a comedian can tell a joke about a family member with like Down syndrome, and everybody just gets so much pleasure out of it. Like in a happy, like we're so happy to think of this guy. You know,
Yeah.
just up at night making his grilled cheese. Like just in case, I gotta have backup grilled cheese. You know what I mean? Domino's has emergency pizza.
Yeah.
Uncle Danny has emergency grilled cheese. Have you guys seen that? This is something that went viral this week. I don't know if you guys have saw this, but it's a mid-century modern, I think it is, a mid-modern-ish. I don't know what that means. But everybody's been freaking out about this house in Kokomo. It's been everywhere. Did you
Yep.
guys see this?
Yep. Yep. I did.
I'm just like, I don't know if I would want to live in a house that looks this crazy.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's a church.
that's what it looks like,
It
man.
does.
Maybe we should get the recovery room in here.
That's a goal of mine. I want to buy a church.
That would make a good one.
It would.
Yeah, it would look cool. I like the
Yeah.
floor.
Yeah.
It has a very unique vibe to it. It's just
Yeah.
to me, it's funny how like people something like this will go like Zillow Gone Wild. You guys heard
Right.
of that? Like it's like one of those situations, and it actually happened here in Kokomo.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah. Tally ho.
Definitely
good
one
at
of those houses that you could just like go on adventures and bring all your stuff back and
Yeah,
you know make it look a little haunted.
yeah. I mean, we're all obsessed with houses and everything going out. Meanwhile, you know, we're on the brink of civil war. Did you hear about that?
Wait, between the Yays and the Swifties?
No.
Oh,
It's talking about the
Oh.
Alaska National Guard. you
Sorry,
know.
my bad.
Deploying troops, and then I saw this. This is why it pertains to us. I saw that our governor is going to be sending 50 Hoosier Guardsmen down to the border.
Man, you really pulled out all the stops
I know,
with
right?
50 dudes, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
just 50 whole dudes.
I'm sorry.
Big help.
It's really ramping up there.
Damn, bro. Damn.
50 dudes.
Yeah.
Well, not 100, you know? Let's
Yeah.
get 100 going.
I mean, apparently they must be better than the Spartans,
Yeah.
right? Sending 250 less.
Badass motherfuckers.
Right.
Well, you brought it up. Donda is out. I mean, Vultures is out.
Vultures.
Vultures is
Yeah.
out.
Are you guys Kanye fans at all? Do you guys hate Kanye?
I
Yeah.
like to see what he's doing next.
I love that. I love that.
That's about it.
I love that. I feel that energy.
Right.
Hell yeah, bro.
We're upset. We both love Kanye. So
I'm a child of Kanye.
Yeah.
So-
we grew up with him. We're like, it's our crazy uncle. Don't worry about what he says. Just listen to the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I
At
mean?
least he's admittedly bipolar. you know,
Yeah.
like-
Yeah. Good for him, man. He just
Yeah.
doesn't live his life like that.
That's my thing. He's like a very rich, very popular, very famous person that has like came out and said, I have bipolar disorder. Then when he does bipolar things, people are like, how dare you do bipolar things?
You guys see where he snatched that girl's phone?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I know
He just Kanye be Kanye.
he's beefing with Ozzy Osbourne right now.
No, Ozzy is beefing with Kanye.
That's how that works.
I was
I
gonna
saw
say,
this
leave that
photo.
old man alone.
He's upset that he used a sample from a live performance of War Pig for his song Carnival. Meanwhile, here's him dressed up as Kanye.
Why
and
is he
his
dressing up as Kanye?
him and his
man?
wife.
Come on, yo.
You can't dress up as the guy and then get mad when he uses your song. No. You're appropriating literally his look.
I mean, I don't fully understand the beef with Kanye, or like, because I know it's not a hip hop thing, right? Because
Yeah.
War Pigs has been sampled so many times, and
Oh, yeah.
especially so many times in hip hop.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught this cheap plug here, but Scrap and I did a live plug yesterday. It was the state of the plug of dress.
Yeah.
We talked a little bit about Kanye. We talked a little bit about what we're going to be doing with the weekly plug, but we talked about this, and like, you know, it's a weird situation for Ozzy to be in because he's like, I really just don't like Kanye. But like, Kanye, he's looked at so weirdly. I don't think I don't think he hates the Jews or anything like that. He's not a Nazi or whatever. But like,
You tell him he can't do something, he's going to do it.
yeah.
That's really what it is.
And honestly, I madly understand that because you tell me I can't do something, I'm probably gonna do it, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna make sure it's spectacular, and I'm gonna make sure that you're jealous of it, and I'm gonna make sure that you see it 20,000 times.
Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like somebody I know.
Yeah, it sounds a little
man.
familiar.
Oh yeah, see, kindred spirits right here.
We just dealt with that on the way here. Like,
Yeah.
I'll take the hardest path. Like anything.
Every
I
time.
do.
That's okay.
I mean, the hardest path, you know,
I still get
you
there,
learn the
man.
most lessons on the way.
Yep.
I mean, you go through the most there, but you might bring the most with you though.
That's
So
where
like,
wisdom comes from.
Yeah.
I hope so.
That's what you got to tell yourself so you don't cry.
That's what it is. It helps
Like,
me go to
I
sleep
went
at
the
night.
hard route. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I didn't have to do this, but
It's better if you tell yourself you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
to make me
intentionally.
stronger.
Yes.
Do you like comedy? Have you ever done it? Have you ever thought about going up on stage and telling some of those jokes that your family and friends just love to hear? Well, now you have the opportunity. Every Thursday night, starting February 15th at Cooper's Pub, we are doing an open mic. The Kokomo Press is doing an open mic at Cooper's Pub in the downstairs comedy den. It's going to be awesome. It's going to start at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, February 15th, and we're going to be doing open mic with 10 to 15 spots for each comedian at 5 minutes a spot. Do not hesitate to sign up. Sign-ups will be at 7:30 physically down there in the bar, or if you want to, you can sign up early. All you have to do is message our page at the Kokomo Press. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have drinks and we're going to have food specials, and it's all a part of Cooper's Pub. You just go straight in, and instead of making a right, you make a left, you go downstairs, you make a left, and you're right down there in the comedy den. Myself and Brian Allen West are excited to see you, and we'll also have friends that you may know, like Jordan Bell, aka Hypocrisy Jones, Sean Dalrymple, a local comedian we love, and even Courtney Richardson. You're going to see us all out there. We're going to be having a blast. And again, it starts February 15th, but after that, it's every Thursday at 8 p.m. in the comedy den downstairs at Cooper's Pub. Hope to see you there. Well, I know another way if you want to make yourself stronger. I saw this today. Did you see that?
Hey, shout out B Wood.
B Wood, a friend of the podcast, been on the show. He's doing his own certified yoga class.
I thought he had someone in a headlock.
I know, it did kind of look like that.
Almost does look like that.
Yoga
Got himself in a headlock right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but they're doing it February 18th. That's like what, this week?
That's Friday, right?
Friday.
Yeah.
Well, it can't be Friday.
Or no, I'm sorry.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, I don't know how days work, but
Wednesdays and Sundays. Saturdays the
Struggle.
first night. I like that, man. So if you want to be involved in that, $20. That's exciting, man. I need to do some yoga.
yeah,
Yeah. No.
I love yoga.
I'd get down on some yoga.
Yeah.
I don't want to like go to the gym or nothing like that, but like I could do some yoga because it's just stretching and it's a lot of core work.
I probably need to, but I won't.
It's
I love it.
According to my my foot doctor, I don't know what they're called. Pediatrician.
podiatrist.
Podiatrist, yeah.
There you go.
He told me I need to stretch more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foot doctor?
Yeah.
What's that gonna?
So go
Interesting.
do yoga, do some foot kegels.
Yes. That's what he's looking for.
Yeah.
No, I got to stretch my Achilles. I have a tight Achilles. I was like, yeah.
Yeah,
you're
like toe touches.
It's like, yeah, it's tight, ain't it, bro? Just messing around with him. I love my doctor. His name's Graves. Nathan Graves. He's the best. Like, he was telling me a story when he was, because he knows we do the Kokomo Press, and he's like, I know you from that. And he was like, I got to tell you this story. And I'm like, what? And he's like, when I was in like medical school or he was doing some type of schooling, and it wasn't nowhere near Kokomo, blah, blah. And he's like asking, you going around the room, say your name, say where you're from, blah, blah, blah. And so everybody was doing that. And then he got to him and he was like, Nathan Graves, I'm from Kokomo. And he's like, Kokomo, the hugger.
Yep.
It's like, that's the only thing we're known for, man. I thought we invented the first car, but people only know the poles we spin on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's what this place is known for. No wonder. I mean, it's honestly a good thing that you guys are in the community and trying to reach out, because if that's what we're known for, it probably led to a lot of the reasons that we're in the situations that we're in. So
Yeah, funny story. I worked there for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Turn the
Hell
tide
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. I mean, at one point there were so many strip clubs in Kokomo, and now we're just down to the hugger. Like, we really are. Like, it's crazy to me
Never going anywhere.
I know it's not going to go anywhere, but it's like how all the other ones are gone. Like, big daddies.
They held
daddies.
strong, never desegregated, nothing.
Well, no,
I'm sorry, am I saying too much today?
There's Pornhub now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's OnlyFans.
Hey, jerk local.
Yeah, that's what we say. OnlyFans, jerk local. Yeah, I love it. It's the truth, man. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this. This was pretty interesting. We're getting another Chipotle.
Wow.
Wait,
another one. I know.
So we need 2 Chipotles now?
I think we do.
I thought the one was too much.
You
Yeah,
did.
I
They're
don't know
always
if I've
busy.
ever eaten at that one.
You guys gone in there?
Once.
I don't know. Have I been there?
I have no idea.
I love Chipotle. I was
don't
excited.
This obviously didn't spark Kokomo because they don't got enough chicken sandwiches. But like,
You get a chicken bowl.
you can get a chicken bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the shits.
Yeah.
That too.
Hey, you can get that anywhere. You can get the McDonald's, Taco Bell. Don't just blame them for those. At least they source local chicken.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Chipotle shits be like, oh man.
It's the rice.
I fuck up. I always get the spicy that tomatillo
man.
salsa, and I'm like, it always eats me up. I'm like, Jesus, why'd I get this? But it tastes so good. Bro.
They're memorable if it hurts.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's why I can't get the spiciest chicken at freaking Wendy's. Every time I'm like, yep, I definitely had that yesterday. Welcome to the poop part of the podcast.
This is why I'm a glutton for sadness, man. Because everything I do, man, involves me inflicting the most pain possible on myself.
Well, I have a very good a good story for you. It's a feel good story. So this guy, Indiana Attorney General Todd Ridcutt, he launched a tool for parents to report gender ideology in schools, and then users immediately began sending memes and protests. So they flooded the entire thing with memes.
I love that. I love that.
I love it. I love what it's like it's a snitch line, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know,
Fuck
they're
that
like,
snitch line, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Really though.
I just love like the Godzilla with the trans flag.
I be getting enough. I got enough problems with how they treat trans individuals or anybody a part of the LGBTQ community around here, especially in the schools right now, because they're doing a little bit too much and not enough at the same time.
Anything you can bring up specifically?
So
You deal with it a lot.
well, I ain't gonna put anybody on blast, but I do have an issue because over the last couple of years, I gotten phone calls over some weird shit. Right.
Yeah.
One of those phone calls was what bathroom one of my children was using.
Yeah.
And like I thought it was the weirdest thing, and like at the shoot job, I work midnights, so if I get a call at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon or noonish or whatever, I'm not happy, right? So like 3 days in a row, I got a call about bathrooms and which bathroom my kid was using. And I was like, are you really shitting me right now? You're calling me about fucking bathrooms? Yeah. This is your problem. This is your problem right now. Like, are you, you have a kid that specifically identifies a certain way, right? And what is your deal with that? Everybody else acknowledges it. Everybody else is accepting of it. Like, you are just making yourself look like an ass. And you're calling me about bathrooms. Fuck. Practice?
Talking about playoffs?
Playoffs?
Yeah, right.
My opinion is everybody just needs to mind their business.
Yeah.
That side, this
Yeah.
side, our side, all. I mean,
Whoever.
if it's someone's sexual orientation is their business. And it's
Yeah.
just there's too
Yeah.
many offenses going on. Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much.
Especially when it comes to like just using the restroom real quick.
Right,
Like, who
right,
gives a
right.
shit?
Yeah, I know.
Literally.
I don't know
mean-
why there's men and females bathrooms in the first place. Like,
Yeah.
who cares? Like,
Yeah.
what's the reasoning behind that? I mean,
Yeah.
there's stall door. Like,
Yeah.
we don't have a.
It feels like it would just be
bathroom at
cost
home.
efficient to just have one.
Yeah,
Right.
it
Yeah.
makes more sense.
So that was a good way to follow the poop part of the podcast.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Let's talk more about bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think they could even have like a general like a center area to wash your hands and just have
Yeah.
separate stalls for everyone. And you do just
Yeah.
boy girl.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it at festivals. I mean, they're
Right.
not the
Yeah.
greatest. Nobody wants to use a porta potty, but just take that concept of a porta potty,
Stick it in a room.
put individual rooms of it for everybody
Yeah.
that does it, and then do everything. Yeah, I think they want to save money on these urinals, man. Damn urinals! You don't have to deal with these urinals.
Yeah.
They're up, down, they're down, they're left, they're right.
Do we
some on the
really need
floor.
urinals?
There's troughs.
Yeah.
That's my
Right, the
problem.
troughs, I was
we
just
don't.
thinking of the.
We don't need urinals.
No, we don't.
Like I understand, like peeing standing up is a convenience, but like I don't need a urinal for that.
Yeah.
Like I can piss in a
Yeah.
toilet. I'm grown.
yeah.
yeah.
Like that Cheerios trick worked for me when I was a kid. I don't know about y'all, but
It worked for me pretty well too.
good shit. Good shit, yo.
Well, just to keep on the theme, I'm starting my new movement, shit in urinals. Everybody go out there right now.
All right, bet. I'm down.
Here for
Down.
it.
This is better than Policki's piss and sinks
Yeah,
ideal.
yeah.
So yeah, I like this.
Yeah, we got a buddy that does a podcast, and he loves to piss in sinks. We're like, what? He's so tall, so it makes a little
That's
more
funny.
sense.
I can relate with that.
Yeah. How tall are you?
6'5".
6'5". Man, yeah.
So I mean, I appreciate a urinal because when you're peeing in a toilet standing up, it likes to splash back out.
Yeah.
I'll even sit down at home, like,
Yeah. You might as well.
yeah.
No, I enjoy that time. I always sit down, man.
Yeah.
I need it to rest because
I mostly just sit down.
Seriously.
I mostly sit down at work, and that's just because I'm stealing time.
Yeah.
Time theft. I'm just kidding. Wasn't me. I didn't say it. It was somebody else over there. Yeah.
yeah, I got to be careful. We got supervisors that watch this show.
Be asking me why I'm walking funny coming back from the bathroom. Like they definitely weren't falling asleep from me sitting there that long. I swear.
Oh, man.
Didn't lose any of that circulation. I saw this video and I wanted to get your take on this. So
What's that?
tell me what you think about this. Okay, so I don't know how long I'm gonna let this music play because it's horrible.
Very vivid hair.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said on the internet. Your face. I'm turning the music down because the music's horrible. What are you thinking? Look, to me, looking around, seeing all the people being like, "What the hell?"
What the
Like,
fuck?
Yeah.
There's a time and a place to TikTok, and I love that the lady in the background's like, "I'm gonna get a video of this crazy lady."
Their faces back there.
Now she's twerking.
the
Here we
best
go.
part.
Yeah, it's all the people like, "What the hell is this lady?"
This would be a great video to add your own sound effects to.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Choose your own song to put on there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what I said earlier in the podcast about putting yourself out there and creativity? I was wrong.
Well, my favorite part is,
It-
did you see her tattoo?
Oh no.
She even has. Like,
Oh,
an
okay.
Interesting.
Is she South African?
It makes me wonder, man, because it's like,
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like she's like South African and probably like in that Elon Musk
Yeah.
era or area of South African, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe less on the spectrum, but
yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know, just
Hard
a
to
different
tell.
part of it.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of guys back there making rockets, so I knew I was gonna get them. Just had to get them real quick. Yeah. Here's something this was an interesting question. Did you guys hear about these DORA boundaries that they're starting? So per state law, signs along the DORA boundaries alerting people that they are entering or exiting. So the DORA is like it's an open container area, right? I can't remember what's the DORA stand for.
swiper no swiping.
DORA. It's like direct open. I don't remember. I had it in my head and then now it's gone. But basically, they're creating areas where you can actually
Open refreshment
carry, like
area?
open drink. Yeah, probably open refreshment. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, something like that. So designated open refreshment area. Maybe that's what it is.
So
So what do you guys think about something like that? Do you guys think it makes sense? Do you guys think it's going to cause more issues?
Well,
They're just trying to figure out a way to cover that new $200 million
Yeah.
jail. That's what they're trying to do there.
We got
So
$200 million jail.
They're trying to.
There's up in the air, something like that. Yeah.
Jeez.
So then you can't drink anywhere else.
So
I'm
I think that
confused.
just like in public, so they want to
get-
set designated areas with signs. Let's say if you're in this area, let's say they do like you could do like a pub crawl and people could like literally
Right.
Okay.
bring their
Right.
drinks.
Okay.
So if this was the line, and let's say this is, I think in this,
that looks like the courthouse square.
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there in the
Yeah.
middle. So
Yeah.
I would assume that bar area, that red area, you can walk around with a beer.
It's like you can go
Okay,
right in the
okay.
courthouse with a beer now.
and yeah, and you can go all the way down. So like
So I
right in the
can
courthouse.
Noted.
take a beer in there to check in with probation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Basically is what they're saying.
That's what they want.
Sounds good to me.
Specifically what they want.
I don't know. Were they having issues with it beforehand? I don't know.
I think it's more like along the lines that they want the downtown to be more like walkable and
Yeah,
be able to have a
yeah.
nightlife, which we get. 'cause,
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we're partnered with Cooper's. You got the Coterie down there. You got Cook McDougal's. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's other places.
Oh yeah. There, everything along Geek Street.
Yeah.
That you can be a part of, whether it's Coterie or Cook McDougal's, Cooper's. What is the new Korean restaurant that just opened up downtown? Lots of different things.
Yeah, that's one thing I saw. It's been getting a lot of news stories. The new Korean. There's like 5 new Korean locations
Yeah.
opening, and people are like, they're taking over the food place. I'm like, I don't think so.
They took our jobs.
They took-
Yeah.
Your McDonald's is safe, I swear.
I swear to God, man.
Hey, yeah, we're getting 5 Korean places, but you're getting another Chipotle. You're fine. You're fine.
Fine.
And a Chick-fil-A.
Don't you DoorDash? You'll be okay.
Yeah.
I know.
I think more along the lines of like Korean barbecue. I've heard good things about that throughout my whole life, and I don't think I've ever had Korean barbecue.
Me neither, I don't think.
Me either.
You had Korean?
I think I have actually. It like I'm all good. I'm all down for any sort of Asian food though. So like, just give it all to me.
Yeah. Same.
Just less grease. I can't. It's so much grease sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah, it depends. I mean, depends on what you eat. Like, you're not a fish guy, so like you
Yeah.
you don't eat a lot of like sushis or anything
fish
like that. But
F-I. I know like, with that shirt, you might be a PHIS. You know, you're listening.
I like the yeah. I
My
like
brother is like, he was the biggest fish fan I ever met. He would always just come in my room like, have you heard this song? And I'm like, I don't have 45 minutes to listen to this
Yeah,
song.
there's definitely a headspace to be in to listen to like Mo or Fish.
Yeah.
I like.
Trey.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
My brother would always
Fish
be like,
kids, get off my lawn.
you don't get it, Trey's a genius, man. I was like, yeah, he is. He's pretty great. Yeah, can you go so I can listen to some Kanye? Yeah, I like. There's a few songs. There's a song called "Fee." I think is the funniest song in the whole world. It's just like about a guy got his nipple chopped off, which is funny. I like listening to songs like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm into. All right, don't judge me.
Ah, that's cool.
Primus is good for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another
Ween.
one. Yeah.
This is so weird because just we've been going over like wedding music here lately
Oh,
or
no.
this past
You
weekend.
guys kind of have.
And we have such an eclectic like range of music because Kim is very emo and I am not. I am a very child of Kanye, which I can't really play a whole lot of Kanye at a wedding because it's not like wedding appropriate. I don't think.
Graduation.
Yeah, that's about it. Maybe illest motherfucker alive. There we go. But we've been trying to pick out like music that would be appropriate and everything, and like it's so many songs or artists. I'm like, no, you can't play that person. Like mainly Usher, but
You got to play Usher. He was just amazing at the Super Bowl.
first of all, name it. Yeah, that Super Bowl performance last night was absolutely great or horrible, depending on what happened.
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah. I loved that. I maybe saw or didn't see Ludacris.
We love filming on Saturdays or Sundays and talking about what's happening later that day and being like, oh, we don't know what happened yet.
But name me an Usher song that's not about him being with a woman and wanting to be with that woman's friend, or that woman needing to leave her significant other for him, or the fact that he cheated.
That's not fair.
I know,
Nice
because
and
it's
slow.
not possible.
Nice and slow. My boo. Got you twice. I'm trying to think. I know you're going through the entire lyrics to see where he talks about leaving your man. There's nothing about leaving your man. But you are right. My way. You make me wanna. all the entire Confessions album is just literally him cheating. Which really Jermaine Dupri cheating, right? Because he wrote most of the album.
Yo, he's still the soundbox.
Yeah, he's still Jermaine Dupri.
No.
The music we played when we got married, it was rather shocking to the lady that married us.
What'd you guys play?
Funny. Amigo the Devil, Hell in You.
Yeah.
It's you'll have to check it out.
Yeah. You'll have to listen to it.
Perfect for us, I guess.
Hey, I mean, they each their own, man.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, so Kim was like, "We should play some Tyler the Creator," and I was just like, "Which song?"
Yeah.
Wait, are we gonna play like? We can't play any Wolf or Goblin, Tyler.
Play Earthquake.
Yeah,
And even that album turns.
Even that song's not a great song to play. Like,
well, that's the positive one. Then it turns.
What? It's all about "Don't Leave." It's my fault.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it is your fault.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Usually.
It is.
It's typically our fault.
Generally.
It is.
Yeah, we're the ones that get stuck in our heads.
I don't know what I would do with my life if I couldn't like blame half of it on him.
Yeah.
He's so good though because he takes it. And he's like,
Good job.
Thank you.
Consensually. Good job.
Essentially.
I have to, like, stop myself. In my
You
tracks
realize you're
sometimes.
doing it, so
Yeah,
I just allow it to
definitely
happen.
Yeah, she'll come around. She'll come around eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this too. I thought this was an interesting story. Arthur, 18, films his mother and dresses 36 in sex videos for OnlyFans. I don't feel any lust for her. I'd hope not, Arthur.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know why you would want to
Jesus.
film this, but okay.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that he's saying he doesn't feel any lust for her means that he
Yeah,
actually
that's-
feels
Methinks
for
he
her.
doth protest too much.
Did he get stuck editing this too? Because like
know.
that's hell. That is.
Mom, come in here.
Yeah.
Look at the way I faded in when you were
Yeah.
from doggy to mish. See how I did that? See how I did
Hi,
that?
hey,
Freudian.
watch what I did to this money shot, Mom.
Yeah, Freudian.
I bet he still calls her mommy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mom, milk. Come here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's horrible. I could not imagine, dude.
No.
Poor Artie.
I know.
I know.
My 3-year-old's name's Arthur, and it broke my heart. Can we change it? I'm just kidding. This poor kid, man, going through a lot, man.
I'm not calling him Dad.
Going through a lot of.
I'm not calling them dad. Look at the picture. There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Dad 1, Dad 2, Dad 3.
Oh,
Dad, Daddy, Father. Just give them all
it's the
different.
daddies of the world.
Yeah.
All the colors.
Where there was that streamer guy that he got married and his wife was an adult porn star, and they're like, oh, we'll never do that, and then he ended up doing it.
Oh
Do you remember what I'm talking about?
yeah. I was just talking about that dude the other day with somebody. It's not the no jumper guy, but
Yeah, it's the other guy.
Yeah.
He's been through it too. It's like anytime you start putting stuff on camera, it gets a little dicey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with your kids. I think bringing your kids in is a little too far. I don't know. It's a weird take for me. But
Yeah.
I think that is a definitive line.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitive line.
There had
I've been
be
trying
other
to talk.
options.
I've been trying to talk Kim into us uploading some videos because, like, not that we film each other or anything like that, but Ring cameras catch shit, and and I'm just like, well, let's just upload it. Let's
Hey
see what
Jordan,
happens.
why is there a Ring camera in the bathroom? Yeah, they're like, that's the weirdest thing about like when you catch something candid on the Ring camera. You're like, yes. Every time I go see my brother, he's like, check this out. He always has a new video, and obviously I'm not doing it with Crazy Place, okay?
Right.
But like he had a video of his wife walking out to the car, and she trips and falls on the ice. He's like, oh, he's just loving it. Or he had a video of his daughter. He was saying something to her, and she was like, no, and he goes, what? She goes, ah, and runs towards the door because she said no to her dad. So it's like, it's just like those type of things where
That's funny.
it's those little reactions. So I don't know. I like having a Ring. Do you like having that?
I do. I feel more secure. I don't really be like looking at my like video. Like, I don't go back and look at my Ring a lot unless like something's stolen, which is the only reason why I have them in the first place. But
I mean, that is the reason. Or to know if somebody's at your house. Because like with my kids and stuff, sometimes I'm like, who's something doing? Right?
no, I'm gonna be real. So like, this is kind of a weird story, but like I was going through a very, very rough time at one point, and I went to a recovery center for a while period. When I came back, my house was broken into and a whole bunch of shit was stolen. So literally, like I filed my insurance and stuff because I had renter's insurance at that time, thankfully. And the first thing I bought was cameras because I'm like, this is never going to happen again.
Yeah.
I'm at least going to know who did this.
Did you go back to the recovery and say, hey, I need you guys to do a different type of recovery? Loss and recovery.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
do that as well.
You know, shout out insurance in this case, not in all cases. But
Yeah, insurance, not shout out.
Yeah.
My situation.
sorry.
I hate insurance. I think it's like I understand the concept. Like I'm not an idiot, but I just don't understand why. Here we go. Here's my tangent. But like you have to pay if you want to drive. You have to have car insurance. Everybody knows that. And anytime the government forces you to do something, I always say it's by a gun because that's literally what they come with. It's not like they bring a cop with a gun. If you get in an accident, guy shows up with a gun.
Right.
So there's always a gun involved. And my thing is, if you're gonna hold me at gunpoint to do something, when something happens, I should be able to. I pay $20,000 into my car insurance, and then I get in an accident, and then they want to drag their feet. I'm like, I paid $20,000 to you. Y'all can't throw me 12? Like, come on, man. Like, this is my insurance. At this point, they should just start like a savings account and tell you to put the money in there because at least if something happens, you can just take it out of there.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
should have the option whether you put the money into your own savings account or use insurance.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's a very bizarre system.
Yeah.
They'll find their out if they can.
There's like a whole thing with the insurance and the car companies and the government.
Yeah, they're all in cahoots in the weirdest
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Man. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, it's a gun to your head telling you, like, this is what you got to do. Yeah, I saw this the other day. This is random as hell, I know, but it is Black History Month, and the Grissom is doing an exhibit for the Tuskegee Airmen, and then I read 5 Tuskegee Airmen are from Kokomo. Did you know that?
Really?
No, I didn't know that. Actually.
That's crazy, right?
That is crazy.
It actually makes sense because we have Grissom, and it was a huge air base, for many years. But I think that should be, that should be said more. I didn't even know there were 5. We should know these 5 gentlemen who took part in this and
For
did
sure.
this.
That definitely should be celebrated and talked about. Like,
I thought you were going to say segregated. I was
no,
like,
no. Well, yeah, that almost
Whose
slipped
team
out.
are you on, bro?
That almost slipped out. I'm like, well,
Freudian. There you go.
I probably meant that it should be desegregated, maybe stop being whitewashed.
Yeah.
We celebrate some dude that invented a car that he didn't invent, but it's okay. Plus, we're named after a chief that maybe wasn't even real.
Yeah, doesn't even exist.
No.
Yeah.
So
Like, yeah, Kokomo.
let's celebrate some real shit.
Kokomo, Chief Coke, and it's not even spelled right. It's like Kokomo too.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if the St. Louis Kokomo is, or the Missouri Kokomo is the same like heritage. If we just stole it from them, or vice versa.
yeah, maybe the Beach Boys are the ones that named us.
It probably.
Probably.
Honestly, I believe that one.
Yeah, I think I heard that once. That's definitely what it was.
But I thought that was pretty. I think that's pretty great. They're doing a whole exhibit up there. I was like, man, I might have to go check that out just because I want to find out more about the 5 guys from Kokomo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in the month of February for us in general. You guys obviously are building up your guys' profile. There's the new yoga thing happening. Well, I mean, it's February seems to be popping off, and we're only 2 months into the year.
It's 2024 popping.
What's going to happen in March, man? We got a lot going on then.
I don't know. What do we have in March? Because
We have a new comedy show. We have a comedy showcase. I'm
yeah,
going to drop the knowledge so people that watch the podcast can know. We have a comedy showcase on March 23rd.
oh, okay.
We're going to be bringing a pretty big comic. If everything works out the way we want, it's going to be really great because the guy is super funny.
And to tie this in, if you come out to the open mic comedy shows, you maybe have a chance to be a part of this showcase, right?
Yeah.
So like, hint hint, wink wink. If you'd like to do some comedy, build up your repertoire as far as your comedy, whatever they go,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Chops go.
That's what we're doing. We
shooting.
started doing this open mic comedy. We're going to start this week at Cooper's Pub, and then we're starting a showcase, bi-monthly showcase for people that actually build up material. So it's one of those things where we're trying to help the community in some way. We're giving people an outlet and some place. So I mean, we've got a few different people that want to. So if you guys know anybody that's interested in doing comedy, tell them to hit us up because we're going to be doing a lot.
I'm interested in checking it out. For
You
sure.
should.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it too. We got to get people to come out and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely,
It's
absolutely.
a nice little area. I know with the Super Bowl coming up, everybody's obsessed with the most important part of the Super Bowl, and that's Taylor Swift, obviously, right? She's the and I saw this. I don't know if you saw this too. Deshaun Jackson responded, "Should Taylor Swift get a ring if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl?" What do you think?
I mean,
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I don't. The NFL booked this. The way the NFL booked this, man. This is the most wrestling NFL shit that I've ever seen in my life, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Well, she's been dealing with a lot this week because they've been coming after her for her jet. Did you hear about this?
Oh my God.
Oh my
She's dealing with so much. So much. Oh my God.
Taylor Swift's lawyers threatened private jet flight tracker over stalking and harassing behavior. I don't know if you guys remember a while back, but
Don't they have to
That the guy
track?
that's selling the information back.
No, he's just posting it.
Oh,
So
Okay.
so flight log data is public information. So what I was gonna say is a while back Elon Musk was dealing with the same thing where there was a guy tracking his flight everywhere we went. He was saying it was a security risk, and they told him, and everybody was kind of like, "Stop complaining. Maybe you shouldn't use it so much." And then when it's Taylor Swift, everybody's like, "Stop it. Taylor deserves her privacy."
No.
There was a
No.
13.
You got to
minute
track
flight.
the planes. Fuck you.
Did you see the 13?
Yeah.
That one of the things they were bringing up is there was a 13-minute flight that she took, and they're like coming at her for that. And then I saw this meme right here. Taylor Swift when the remote is on the other side of the couch.
Oh.
Swifties are coming after me now. Here they come.
Watch out.
Jeez.
I'm ready to go, dude. Let's do this. I'm a child of Kanye too. Let's do this.
Child of Ye, Vultures just came out. I don't really give a fuck about Taylor Swift. Sorry, Annie and Jessica.
Yeah, we do have friends that are like huge Taylor Swift fans.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we always have to say sorry to them every time we do anything with Taylor Swift.
I couldn't even tell you a name of one of her songs.
Yeah.
No.
Super not a fan
man.
of Taylor Swift.
I'm sure if you just said a couple words, there probably one. She has enough songs out there.
Guarantee it.
Something about a breakup and
Yeah.
a boy and turning into a man, or I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know. But I think she stole Pinocchio's story.
Pinocchio story. Oh God, that's a Kanye joke too.
Yes.
Oh man, I can't deal with it. I did see that. Did you hear this insane story?
Yes.
Yes, this story is wild. So a transgender woman loses bid to sue X for throwing out her surgically removed testicles. We're talking about my nuts. That's what she said. I watched some of the testimony. Were you able to see any of the testimony? It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
The back and forth between it.
Wow.
I guess apparently the nuts were in the freezer for many, many months.
Yeah.
And even many months after they broke up. And her boyfriend was like, I don't want to hold on. I don't have any interest. This is weird. I don't want these.
Yeah.
Threw them out. And then this was, I think she wanted like $6,500 in restitution. And I'm like, damn, man, our balls are worth a lot. Can I get some money for these, dude?
Oh, can I donate mine? I don't
know,
really need them.
right?
I'm done with kids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
What constitutes 6,500? You know, I think the
Right.
crazy part is just the picture of like just pointing at the nuts.
I thought the craziest part was that she brought her dog.
Yeah,
She's like holding her dog giving testimony.
I haven't seen any of this. This is
Yeah,
crazy.
you didn't hear about this?
No, man. I've been so
Yeah.
wrestling ingrained here lately that I don't even know.
I
what the
posted
real
a joke
world's
on the
like.
page and immediately deleted it because I was like, I don't really know if I went on that page or someone. It was the obvious joke, which was like, you know, man, really filing that lawsuit took balls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It took balls to file that lawsuit.
Oh God,
I was like, that's too kitschy. I gotta take that off there, man. Everybody's probably making that joke.
you should have kept it.
It's fine.
Yeah, I saw this as well, and I was like, doesn't that just mean girl, baby boy born without penis, an extremely rare case? Does that mean just balls?
Oh,
Probably.
The exact
Oh.
same thing happened to my sister.
Yeah, the joke, and the exact same thing happened with
I'm sure we're gonna hear about this in
Yeah.
Yeah.
a couple years too.
hey. So
going?
listen. If this is the case, right? I want people to stop using the argument. Boys are born with penises because obviously no,
It can happen.
it can happen.
It can happen.
Anything can happen, really.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it could be anything. There's a whole spectrum. You know,
Yeah,
some would
sure.
say there's a spectrum.
There is a spectrum.
I saw this popped up as well. Art Schlichter, a former Colts QB, was found with a crack pipe in his pocket during a traffic stop.
Oh,
I'm like, poor guy.
smoking rock.
Yeah, man.
That sucks.
It kind of reminded me of, you know, we have the owner of the Colts, Ursay,
Yes.
he's in recovery. He's
Yeah.
actually a guy who's been in active addiction, and there's been a story that came out in TMZ that he actually had a relapse sometime in November or December, and then they kind of hushed it up. So like my question would you guys be, I mean, you guys deal with a lot of people that are in recovery that are trying to get better in their life. How much more difficult would it be for somebody to have the public scrutinizing every time they had a relapse versus, because it's hard enough when you have a relapse by yourself.
Yeah.
Now imagine like TMZ's doing a story on it.
Yeah.
That's gotta be rough.
It definitely would be rough, but it almost gives you that little bit of extra like oomph to not do that.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking. It's that a lot of accountability and responsibility when you have the public on you like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a big decision to relapse. I mean, not that it's always so much of a decision. I just think that would be a little bit harder to do when you have so many people looking at you.
People count on you and look.
What's your guys' take on so like a microcosm version of that would be like this busted newspaper locally.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody gets arrested for anything, like let's say you are in recovery and then you fall off and then you get arrested, it ends up, now obviously it's not just the fall off, there's also has to be some type of like serious criminal where something happens where they actually get arrested. And so have you guys seen that affect anybody in particular? Like in a point where it's like, man, now I have the entire public looking at me every time someone, because people are, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the responses on this page. They get horrible.
Yeah, it gets rough.
Shout out Kokomo and the No. Just kidding, not shout out.
So for me personally, like I never cared that my picture popped up on there.
Yeah.
I think there's like levels of like addiction and levels of falling off. If it's maybe your like first time, then you're probably going to care. But when you're known, in the discovery of your arrest as a known drug user,
it's to be expected.
Yeah,
Right.
Wasn't really too concerned about it. I think I got somebody said something about one of the My Little Ponies. I can't remember which one. I had pink hair, but
Yeah.
It's always something. That was probably not. I mean, that's not as bad as some of the ones I've seen. I've seen.
I went to jail right after her one time, and someone said, "Well, he got to go see his wife."
Oh man, we're in different parts of the jail, asshole.
That's not even how jail works.
Yeah, they don't know how jail works at all.
Jesus.
We saw each other a few times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Passing? Maybe we're wrong. We don't know how jail works.
it's a valid comment.
Yeah.
And would you see her? You're like, what did you say? Like, what's one of the, like, it's My Little Pony. How you doing?
Yeah. Honestly, it was a compliment.
Yeah, that's cool.
That.
That's
like
cool.
that.
You still have the
Yeah.
colorful hair, man.
I think it's funny. Somebody thought that we ran Busted Newspaper.
Yeah, we do. That's what I tell people.
That's what you tell
Yeah.
people? Oh, okay. I don't tell people because the amount of times that I've been in it, but I digress.
That was part of the pact.
Yeah.
If we got arrested, we got to put ourselves on there too.
Yes. But people really thought that we ran it, and they were like, well, thanks for taking me off there. I'm like, I wouldn't take you off there.
I would have said you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We usually
Reposted, sorry.
take our thank yous in the form of cash consideration.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I mean it's all public information. It's all public information. Somebody just created a website.
Right.
They started to post it when
Right.
it comes up.
Yeah.
So I mean it's not just Howard County. They have Busted newspaper.
Yeah, all over.
It's an entire business.
All
and that's
over.
why they're like, if you want to advertise on our page,
Right.
it's like, do you want to advertise where we also post everybody who gets arrested?
Yeah.
Come on here.
Oh, speaking of advertising, cheap plug, but if you'd like to advertise on Kokomo Press, feel free to contact us,
Absolutely.
direct DM or contact Jordan Grainger or myself.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
We have great partnerships already with places like Cooper's Pub, with our open mic comedy nights. We've developed great relationships with businesses like American Dream Hi-Fi, who have hosted a lot of our events and things like that. But as we say on the In Your House channel, jump on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because we going mighty strong, bro.
Yeah, that's a lot of words.
It is.
Killed it. I posted this meme the other day just to be funny because like I really don't know the reason why it's called Dirty Dance. Like there's so many. Have you guys heard all the urban legends? Right, there's so many urban legends. So like I posted it just to like kind of, it was a fishing effort. Like what can I get people to say on here? And people are like, what is the story? What is it? Tell it to me. And I'm like, I don't know.
Some of the stories that they told was like crazy.
Yeah, somebody said a rat was in the mixer.
Right.
Somebody said there was a hole in the wall.
It used to be
Just catchy.
Used to grind up spiders.
Yeah, there was like so many. The original one I heard was like had to do with male bodily fluids in the dough. That's what I heard. Like, but that's like a typical. You hear that about McDonald's as well. You know what I mean?
That
But there's
cream
been-
was cream.
Yep.
There's something else in this strawberry cream.
Oh.
Hey, whatever, man. People are buying it.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
They gobbled
delicious.
them donuts up.
I mean, they look delicious in this picture.
I
I'm not gonna lie. I like the way
Pretty
it
sure I
looks.
would still knowingly eat it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
gonna die somehow.
Whatever, man. It's gonna be the least worst thing I've ever put in my body.
I mean, there's some, I mean, McDonald's is worse than probably anything. I saw
Yeah.
this as well. Did you guys know what this is?
Breast milk.
It looks
like
like breast milk to Americans, but this is actually how milk is. This is Canadian milk. They get it in bags.
Interesting.
The fuck?
Bags of milk. Yeah. Can you imagine?
They have to water it down, or like,
They got to have a pitcher to put their own milk.
was
in.
it full?
That one's empty.
Okay. No, I'm just asking if it came like
They
that.
buy it an ounce at a time.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's very big, right? Like, what
Cause-
much is that?
I don't know. It looks like I could produce that amount.
Well, they wouldn't. This is the milk they use that dirty hands.
Just for their milk.
That's horrible. I didn't even think about that. I'm looking at some more topics on here because I got so many great topics that we haven't got to over the last. I saw this one and this one made me laugh. Runner banned for 12 months for using a car during a marathon. I don't think that's how that works.
That's the spirit.
Only
Hey.
12 months though. Like
That's how I'm doing a marathon.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you could do that.
Isn't a marathon like 26.2?
26.2 miles.
Maybe she just drove for 12 miles of it. They're like,
She
we'll
just
give her
drove
12.
there.
One for each month.
A biathlon.
Zach Krowski. She went for it. I wonder if
Yeah.
that's actually her. If somebody just posted a picture of a random runner.
I don't know. Is she Russian or like
there's
European of some sort? You know, win by any means.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta
Yeah.
do. You ever seen the Office episode where they do the 5K? You guys ever watch The Office? They do an episode where they do the 5K, and two of the guys they didn't want to run it, but they're all being forced to do
Right.
it if they went out of work. So they just get in a car and go to a bar, for
Right.
hang out, and then at the end they're being dropped off, so they don't want to win. But it's like that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, this lady's just going for it.
Yeah, no. I would never run a marathon. I would die, I'm pretty sure.
It sounds good, but I don't
No,
I
it
know.
doesn't.
I think about it. I be running sometimes. But I got bad knees. I ain't even trying that right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm engaged. You're engaged. About to be married soon. You two are married.
Yep.
So I saw this article popped up, and it was like, women are happier without children or spouse, happiness expert. And then somebody had to post a side photo of the person who wrote it, and I'm like, she just got like a little trash mullet. You know?
Yeah.
She
But
looks
I
so
think it's the
happy.
eyes thing. That's really what's throwing me for a loop here. She's like,
100%. She owns a ferret.
Yeah,
I got the same
yeah.
haircut.
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
I love a trash mullet though.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was in Portland, when I was up there in Portland for a while, it seemed like there were so many girls with trash mullets, dude. Everywhere you went, I was like,
I like
man, they just got their own scissors and went.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheap haircut.
Bang bang scissor gang.
Oh, man. That's a wrestling thing, ain't it? I know it is. I can just tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Artful Interactions 2024. It's coming up on Saturday, April 20th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Rhine Hall. That's 507 North Union Street here in Kokomo. There's going to be over 25 vendors, live music, food, drinks, and even raffle prizes. It's only a $5 general admission fee, and $500 get in free. Can you believe that? There's also various VIP tickets, including a $15 ticket, a $25 ticket, and a $40 ticket. They are all tiered packages, and you get special seating during the event. And the best part is it's co-benefiting the Kokomo Rescue Mission. Tickets are available at www.creativeodditiesandcuriosities.com, or you can call 765-513-8703 to get your tickets today. You do not want to miss Artful Interactions 2024 on Saturday, April 20th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Rhine Hall. Hope to see you there.
Well, have you guys been keeping track of this zombie deer disease in honor of our shirts? So the 32 states where zombie deer disease has been reported so far and why humans should be prepared for slow-moving disaster. So apparently this has to do with the same, what's it called? The same compounds that they found in like mad cow, prions.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
It's like when you eat like the brain or you eat your own flesh of your own, which is really weird because they're
It's like a
deer.
flesh
They don't really
eating
eat.
disease.
They don't. Yeah.
Okay.
But they're eating their own flesh somehow. So it's like when you eat your own kind. So humans can get
Yeah.
prions in there if you're a cannibal. It's like a cannibal thing.
Well, it's coming, people.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's coming.
it's a gnarly concept to think about.
I feel like Indiana's falsifying some numbers.
No. See,
Always by ourselves there.
This is a lie because they're like, oh yeah, look at all these states that like that have legal marijuana.
Yeah.
They got zombies too.
They're definitely connected.
Marijuana. No, I did think that was pretty funny. That Indiana was like right in the middle of everything, and it's like, nope, not us. We swear, it's not us. We swear.
No.
Totally not.
I've seen our deers. Fuck you. I know that. Shit, I still got PTSD from last year.
You hit one, didn't you?
Yeah, man. Stupid fucking deer.
Yeah. Did the insurance cover that?
Yeah, they did actually.
Damn.
Wait, no, not enough.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I got a funny story here. This one's kind of old, but I still want to bring it up because it'll be funny. 50 Cent vows to be more positive in 2024. Disses Diddy hours later.
Honestly, I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I think that's
it
fair.
definitely is.
Diddy and his little diddling parties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diddley actually
Yeah.
is his new name.
I like the
Yeah.
malicious grin he had in that picture. There too.
He always looks like that. I love it. Well, speaking of Super Bowl halftime shows, he did that. He came out and was upside down with Eminem and Dr. Dre. You remember that?
Winded.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Couldn't they're like, he's not doing the sit up at that point anymore. He's just hanging.
Leave
He's
75 cents alone, bro.
I think he's 25 cents now.
Yeah.
He's lost a shit ton of weight.
Oh, he's
recently.
another acting role.
Yeah. Well, I think he just slimmed down.
That's
He's like,
what-
they're not going to shoot me anymore.
I just remember the movie where he lost like 125 pounds for no reason because nobody watched it.
Yeah. The claim to fame was what he did. It had nothing to do with the show.
Right.
He was like a boxer.
Look what I can do.
Playing a playing a boxer with cancer. I think that's what it was. Yeah. I know you're planning your wedding, but have you ever had to plan a baby shower for the 5 women you got pregnant?
At the same time. Wow.
It's exciting.
Well, that can't be the dad up there, huh?
No. He's the guy in the middle. See him? On there?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I feel like he might have just got caught up in at least 4 women that wanted him to be their baby daddy.
Yeah.
It's definitely a way.
He might. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he might have. It's an interesting party to go to. If you're the father of any of those women, you're like, what the fuck am I doing? What did I do
Yeah.
here?
I wouldn't have
How
shown
did this
up.
happen to me?
Yeah, no.
Is that
It's
Kai
not a good
sound?
look for him.
No.
But, I mean, shout out to Nick Cannon because he's doing his thing.
The canon doesn't bring them together. At least he brings his women together.
Really wild out on that one.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, man. It's been really hot out lately. You guys notice how it's February?
Yeah.
Like 65 degrees the other day. I was hoping we'd get a couple more days of those.
That was nice. Though.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
nice.
I was at work like, man, why am I here? That's the worst thing about spring is when you start to get those nice days where the weather's decent and you're like in a job and you're like, man, I have
ready to
no
quit.
interest in being here right now. Yeah, I heard a lot of people from the factory nearby got flipped recently. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Temporary
they're
hire?
officially official now, right?
Yeah, they're like,
Congratulations.
congratulations to all them. Let's go ahead and throw
Look.
this one.
Let us pray that we keep working.
Let us pray.
Let us.
More than iceberg lettuce. not
Yes.
pray.
All right. I'm a romaine guy.
You like the
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I'm like a spinach guy.
Yeah.
Just trying to one up you.
I feel
Not
it.
into the spinach.
You guys go to Subway, you don't get the spinach. You're like, nah, I don't want to do
No.
that.
I get every time we get pizza, I get a spinach and feta pizza.
Oh yeah, that was good.
That's
what's up.
Where it's at. Nice.
He's like, I'm gonna eat this by myself. Nobody touch it.
I do.
You guys have any kids that are interested in it? Do they like
Yeah,
that?
Actually, the last time, what was that? Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all wanted some, and I was like, I had to go hide some of it.
I worked at a pizza place. Actually, this pizza place, Buck's Pizza. It's hard to see from here, but there's Buck's Pizza. I still have this from when I was in high school. Isn't that crazy?
Nice.
Couldn't keep my yearbook, but I have that fucking thing. I worked at Buck's Pizza. It was over on Dixon, kind of by Don Poncho's over there,
Yeah.
in that little plaza. And we'd have to make the feta. That was the worst part of making pizzas.
Yeah.
It's using the feta because our feta came in like now I know more about cheese, but at the time I didn't know very much. But it came in like a liquid, like it's like in liquid, and then we'd have to like put it on there. And it was always the weirdest pairings, like with spinach or like artichokes or What was the other one? Like anchovy. You know what I mean? It'd always be like, could you make it any worse? You got to pick the grossest, smelliest thing. But I completely get it because once I went, I was in the military and I was in Italy for a minute. Once I was there, it was like, is that me?
Yeah, I think it's you.
I thought it was my kid in the other room or something. It's like this chair is doing this thing. No, but like once I learned a little bit more about how cheeses, like the processes and the different things, like the mozzarella. Because it took me a minute over there. Because in Italy, the cheese, their mozzarella is like unpasteurized. So you get it, and it's like looks like an eyeball, like a big, gigantic, juicy eyeball. Nice. And when you cut it, it's like a sponge almost. Yeah. But it's so much better than any mozzarella we have.
I bet.
Yeah, pizza's good when it's just got the big discs of mozzarella.
Oh
yeah,
like a natural. Like
yeah.
It took me a minute there because they have regular their version, like their brick oven pizza there, and then they have like they have American pizza. So I was like, oh, I'll just get an American pizza. You want to know what they put on American pizza? Hot dogs and French fries. That's what they consider an American pizza.
That's gross.
Yeah, we would never eat that. I've never met anybody that's like, yeah, throw a hot dog on there and some French fries.
They just do it ironically.
Yeah, right.
And they loved it there though. Like they would get that. That was like their version of like, oh, we're eating American pizza.
I mean, it's only fitting because we say Italian pizza is just like, I mean, what, pepperoni and just some mozzarella.
Not even
but
really.
It's not even real mozzarella.
Yeah,
so.
it's like mozzarella and sauce and maybe like basil.
Yeah.
That's like their regular like margarita pizza, and then. You know. But Diavola, that's what I would get. It's a spicy pepperoni, and their pepperonis were huge.
Yeah.
Their food there is just different. You know
I
what
would
mean?
love to go there and try their food. I would love to go anywhere and
Anywhere
get more food. Anywhere but here.
Highly recommend. Go to Germany. Get some Dooners.
Dooners?
Yeah.
What's a Dooners?
It's basically like a kebab or like a gyro, but like they'll use like lamb or chicken and stuff like that. It's basically like a gyro, but it's more authentic.
Yeah.
It's more of like a Turkish dish, I guess, or a Turkish sandwich, but so good. So good.
Sounds good.
It's like in America, we give people shit whenever they open like a Tex-Mex restaurant, but meanwhile over there, all the cultures are like you can get food from everywhere.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes back to the Korean barbecue thing and the Korean restaurants opening. Like you get different people from different places, you get better and different food. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just trying to figure out if they can source the food from a good place because
bring in more, man. I want more cultural food around here.
Yeah, me too. That sounds amazing.
That's what they're talking about with like the like American food in general. We've got so many herbicides and so many like weird additives and stuff.
So many things that are banned other places.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's weird.
It's really weird.
And I heard California just banned basically like Red 40. Which everybody, that's apparently linked to like ADD or ADHD, and they just banned it. So like you can't sell Skittles. The Skittles are going to have to change. They're going to have to put like the European formula there in order to do it because they're not allowed to have it there. But I saw this and it kind of made me wonder. But Japanese researchers turned male catfish female with soy compounds in shocking 2023 finding, which kind of goes back to. They're turning the water frogs.
Yeah.
It's basically Alex Jones
Turning the catfish gay.
Right.
Or, well,
the fish guy.
no, well,
Trans.
not gay, but
Trans.
It's a valid concern these days.
Which does beg the question. We have had trans is something big in communities now.
Yeah.
Is there something in our food that's affecting us more than other places?
I think so.
Maybe.
Like the hormone therapies, they have people for other things, like go into the water, and I've read that that can't be broken down even when they run water through the treatments and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the hormones are still in the water. So
Even the microplastics and stuff are apparently causing
no good.
issues. They're messing taints up. Did you hear that?
Oh shit.
I'll bring that up again. You love talking about taints, right?
no, that ain't it.
That ain't it.
That ain't it, bro.
Nah, but apparently microplastics are affecting the taint a lot in males. So apparently testosterone production is getting slowed, and you can tell testosterone in males from the ball sack to the butthole how the length. And apparently it's shortening, and as it shortens, it means there's less testosterone in the kid's system from the womb. So that's why it's shortening. It's like a whole thing, man.
Oh.
It's like it's causing a bunch of issues.
Either way, I'm making it worse with my THC indulgence.
You're like, soy, I don't care about that. Give me some more of that THC.
Yeah. Soy, can you smoke it?
you can try.
I mean, you technically could if you wanted to. I'm just not
Smoke
sure.
anything if you try hard.
This is true. This is true.
Oh man, they're doing this in Canada right now. Child euthanasia without parents' approval pushed for in Canada. Can you imagine?
We just killing children.
Yeah.
Is that what we're doing now?
I
Trying to read.
Drake need to get on
I'm
his
not
shit, bro.
sure, like, what's going on there?
Canada's going crazy up there.
Yeah,
They're just it's like, let's see what happens. Let's just do it.
Oh,
Fuck it at this point, you know.
Yeah.
But what I want to know about this is like who's doing that, and where they are, and how do you contact them?
Yeah, they're like child euthanasia without parent approval push for Canada. It's like 4 guys like, yeah, kill the kids. And they're like, yeah, it's really serious.
Once again, are they selling tickets?
Yeah, it's like, oh, shit. How do I get in? How do I get into the flight?
is this a PLE pay-per-view?
That's too damn much, man.
Yeah.
I got I thought I saw this really funny. Do you know Patrice O'Neal? Do you guys know
Yes.
Patrice O'Neal? He's a comedian. He's one of my favorites of all time. This clip popped up, and I was
Rest
like, I
in
gotta
peace.
play this. Rest in peace to him. But you can kind of get a little
It's
idea.
like the sensitive side of white man.
But it's something about this song. It digs deep to this loserdom
that all white people have.
that white people have this innate thing where they want to feel bad. That's why they voted for Barack. It's just like I'm a creep. I didn't own slaves, but I'm a weirdo. And I'm gonna tell you the part too that I learned is very important to white folks.
We all know
It's
this as
this-
white folks.
I'm telling you, I've been studying. I study, man.
He says he studies
It's
white
not
people.
just all this figured out. Yeah, I wish I was special. You're so effing special. Whatever that little part is, that digs into white people's soul.
Most accurate shit I've ever
If you
seen.
ever go to a bar, it's the truth. It's like Sweet Caroline. It's ba ba ba.
Yeah.
It's like there's certain songs where like that's one of them, man.
Yeah.
I always do that at karaoke. And I'm just like, I'm so fucking special every time.
Yeah, if you've ever been to the Howard County Jail, you've heard that a million times.
They play it in there all the times. All the cops.
Well, they don't play anything, but a lot of people sing it.
Oh, they're just singing it.
Just raw dogging the song right now.
Just going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw this. Here's something feel good. I saw this as well. It was like a man in Indiana, which of course, shout out to the man in Indiana, made an AT costume. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know how to.
It's AT-AT.
Is it AT? Yeah. For his horse, intending only to get a few pictures before moving it. When he took off the headpiece, the horse got upset and insisted he put it back on.
Oh shit.
Made his horse happy again. Now the horse isn't allowing him to remove any piece of the costume.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Nice.
That's like
Favorite
is that the equivalent of like a furry for that horse? He's like,
I hope
you're trying to be a machine.
That's his armor.
You know, his security costume, I guess. You know, it's not a security blanket, right? But
Yeah.
Might just be nice, you know. It's like,
Take that thing to Comic-Con.
yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
badass, dude. Come, you can't ride it though. 'Cause I don't know. Could you? I can't
Sure,
tell.
you
If
could work that out.
yeah, it's like you got to ride the neck. That's the only thing open.
Just make a big old saddle to put on top of it.
What is the? You are the chosen one.
Yes.
Back to Taylor Swift.
enough.
Speaking of Taylor
Enough.
Swift. Yeah, I'm enjoying the fact that like I posted let me see, actually I'll go check real quick. I posted on our Facebook page today a poll, you know, like who's gonna win the Super Bowl? And I gave 3 options, which makes no sense. Right. The Chiefs, the 49ers, or the Swifties. Who's
The
gonna win?
refs.
Yeah. And right now we have 226 votes. And we have 46%, 106 votes are going for the Chiefs. We have 69 votes, giggity, 30% for the 49ers, and the Swifties are coming in at 51 votes, so 22%. So I'm just happy they're getting acknowledged, the Swifties. You know, they're excited. They're excited for the game.
They are excited.
Brings more women to football, you know.
I can't wait
Yeah.
till they get their flowers just for Ye to come up and say, hey, I know not to take your shine right now, but I need you to know Beyonce is better.
Yeah. Yeah, remember when Jay-Z was working with the NFL for a minute, doing the diversity thing?
Slightly. They really stopped that pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, they were like,
This is too black for me.
yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know what I mean?
I guess.
Yeah, poor kids. I know he came out of the Grammys and was upset about Beyonce not getting album of the year ever.
He made a good point, though. Like, I mean, she's
The most winningest Grammy artist of all time. She's won more Grammys than ever, and then she's like, why hasn't she won or the album of the year?
yeah.
Well, it's not just her.
Yeah.
There's a better point to that. There's a lot of people that haven't won album of the year that technically you think would be warranted to that. Yeah. And a lot of people of color. So although he put Beyonce's name on it, I think he was trying to say, hey man, this still ain't a good look because you're doing the right thing. Plus, you arrested Killer Mike after winning 3 Grammys.
He did win 3 though. That's pretty great.
He swept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why you got arrested?
Probably doing too much.
Swap them all.
Probably.
They said he got
That's what happens when you're doing too much. They either arrest you, kill you. I mean, think of what happened when people had dreams.
Still your name there?
Yeah.
That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
I saw this and was laughing very hard at this. Can you think of any laws that give government the powers to make decisions about the male body? Kamala Harris. Can you think of any laws, Jordan?
Like specifically?
Yeah.
No.
No? I thought you would know this one.
I don't know. I'm black.
Selective
I'm not allowed to
service?
do anything.
Selective service?
Oh yeah. I guess that's
Specifically,
the thing, right?
yeah.
But that's not about my body. I guess it's donating my body, right?
Well, the government owns your body when you turn 18.
This is true.
If you're a male.
This
if
is
you're
true.
a male.
This is true.
Unless you have a good way to get out of it, you know what I mean? I think the argument's obviously for like pro-abortion, like saying that they shouldn't be able to like take a woman's right away, which obviously we agree with. But I always think that it's weird to make statements like that, denigrating one sex to like. Can we just say it's wrong with them?
Right.
Because I mean, like, there's plenty of things I can think of, even like on top of like this one's kind of controversial, and I mean, I don't really care either way. But circumcision, if there were doctors circumcising females, we would all be up in arms about it. But decisions are made about boys before they're even born. Yeah. About circumcision, where it's just socially acceptable, which is in the United States, in Europe. Not so much.
Not so much. It's a decision.
Uncut gang.
Yeah.
I mean, the police can even make it so, if you're having a mental health episode, the police can, arrest you and take you to a mental health hospital, and it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
It's your body, it's your whole.
Yeah, and red flag laws. I know you guys have heard of those. Like if somebody calls the cops and says, "Hey, I think my buddy's acting weird. Can you come take his guns?" They can just come take your gun.
No. Yeah.
Just so weird to me.
That's real weird.
There was a weird one I actually saved for this that I was going to bring up. Let me see if I can find it because I'm horrible. There it is. There's a federal law that requires a choice between you can either smoke marijuana or have a gun. So apparently, they've legalized marijuana in a lot of states, but now they're saying, well, if you start legally using marijuana, you lose your constitutional right to carry, which makes no sense.
It's weird.
Because you don't just lose constitutional rights because you're doing a different thing.
Yeah,
Well, so can we apply this to other areas too? If you indulge in alcohol, maybe you lose your firearms as well.
You lose your car.
No. I think we stick it at firearms because I don't want a bunch of drunk people with guns.
Yeah.
that would solve a lot of problems.
Or driving.
Yeah. I think that's the crazy thing is how many people, we get a lot of people who drink and drive, or, there's been a lot of conversations about the marijuana and driving, and, because that's basically it's illegal too. I just saw a recent PSA that the cops put out in Indiana, like, I think it was Indiana, that were like, smoking and driving is still a DUI. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about it. They're like, oh, it's illegal over here, so if I drive.
Yeah.
Look at your face. Well, nobody found out more than Rajon Rondo. NBA's Rajon Rondo arrested in Indiana, booked on weed and gun charges. He had both of them. He was hanging out. I love Rajon.
Oops.
He was one of my favorite basketball players for the Celtics.
I ain't going to Indy this week.
Is it next week, right? They're
next
doing
week
the
or whatever.
All-Star game. That's going to be a wild time down there. You guys hear about that? The NBA All-Star Game's happening in Indianapolis next week.
Yep.
If you go to Indy right now, it's popping. Like, they've got so much going on. It's going to be just like when they had the Super Bowl a few years ago. It's going to be...
That's cool.
Lots and lots and lots of events.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't really follow any sports.
Yeah, me either.
Well, here's one thing you can follow with sports. I think this is an interesting thing.
That looks fun.
I like that slap boxing stuff.
What is happening?
What's going on here?
The haircuts continue.
Yeah, what's happening?
So guess what sport this is?
Swimming.
This is basketball?
It was fun.
It's basketball. So there's a student section.
Staring into a man getting his head shaved.
So these students, what they do is they were doing a thing where like they all take their shirts off And when the other team's shooting free throws, they shave somebody's head to like distract them. And so like if you've seen in the group, there's a bunch of the guys. I'll turn the music off. But there's a bunch of the guys already bald because they've already been shaved from previous ones, and he's the next guy. And so that's their distraction technique.
Funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, whatever works, I guess.
Good for them.
I know. It's like,
Try to explain our stuff like this to the aliens when they get here.
I know. This is why they haven't come yet.
I don't know if it's a really good look to be a large group of men,
Shirtless white guys.
Shaving your head in front of a group of what looked to be a majority black basketball team. It's just some weird connotations that I take from that. But I'm just weird or whatever.
Yeah.
I think weird things.
Yeah.
I thought an NCIS commercial or ad depicted somebody getting hung in the background. I just think weird
you
things,
did.
man.
You did. That was a crazy look.
Tell me I'm wrong about that.
It looked
please.
wild.
It's wild.
Logan Paul would have been like, "Let's go check it out."
I just want to know why they're using that ad.
Yeah.
But I also want to know why all these white dudes are shaving their head in front of black guys.
I think it's funny.
It's weird.
I think it's funny. So I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. It's too funny to me. Did you see? I think we talked about this the other day, or I was talking about this with somebody about. I think it was you. Yeah, It's very possible to get reimbursed if a pothole damages in your car, but very few claims are paid out. In 2023, over 300 claims were filed, but only 6 people were reimbursed. That's what I want to know.
Crazy.
Wow.
Which is crazy because we know the amount of potholes in this
it's
town
insane.
and in Indy. It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And if 300 people file claims, over 300 people, and only 6 are getting paid out, that tells you a lot about really how the system's working there.
Right. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, your taxes are supposed to pay for them, and then when it's they destroy your car, you don't get reimbursed.
They do not. And then they call you and they tell you how the pothole probably did not destroy your car and you're lying and shit like that.
Yeah.
Not that I know this from experience.
Yeah, you definitely know it yourself.
And they'll also, you can never prove that the pothole did anything because they filled it.
Yeah. They fill it real quick before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't there. We promise. It wasn't there.
See what he did? See?
I was dig the pothole back up.
Yeah, the government's too busy focusing on this type of stuff. An Ohio pastor has been criminally charged for letting unhoused people sleep in his church to avoid freezing temperatures. Can you guys believe that?
That's infuriating.
I mean, I can, but
Why?
it's unfortunate that it's believable.
Yeah.
Wasn't it just like a week and a half ago they were talking about trying to get Americans to open up their house and
For
create this thing for
immigrants,
the immigrants coming in? Which I'm not like. I'm all for housing anybody that is unhoused, right? But
Start with our people, maybe.
Yeah.
Or at least get the government out of like criminally charging a pastor for trying to provide a place for people.
That's a church, isn't that what that's for? I mean,
Isn't that why they don't pay taxes?
right. That's what.
Isn't that the reason? Like now the government's going to criminally charge him and probably fine him, take money from that he's already not taking in taxes for a guy just trying to give somebody a place to sleep.
Do you know how long ago that was?
No, I don't.
Because there's been an influx of churches recently coming to us where I work, talking about how they're having to kick the homeless people out and looking for resources to house them. So I wonder, and I told him when it happened, I was like, man, I think there's something going on. I think there's a reason that these churches are clearing their spaces out.
Yeah.
They're coming up with whatever bullshit reasoning that they have to say that, but
it could be the government forcing them.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm
just even
thinking
more sad.
is happening.
Could be a little more frightening than them just moving people out of the churches.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, in our community, the homeless or unhoused, it's a problem.
It's
and
really-
people,
Oh, yeah. It's
people
getting
do
worse
not
and worse.
See it.
If you go on any corner right now, you see people with
Yeah.
signs. You see,
Yeah.
and as it gets, it's still relatively chilly outside right now.
Yeah.
Now imagine when it starts to get warm again, and
Yeah.
I know around April, May every year you start to see almost like a flock of people
Mm-hmm.
who are panhandling, and obviously for a reason. It's not for no reason.
Yeah. And
They
there's
have
not enough resources at all. It doesn't even come close to being enough resources. And then you've got the Kokomo Rescue Mission, which helps people and houses people, but there's all these restrictions on that. And then they have the court programs in there for people who don't really need to be in a homeless shelter, and then you have these other people out on the street with nowhere to go because
Well, I
there's
know
no room.
specifically with the mission, I know they don't allow a lot of people won't go there because they're like, I can't bring some of my stuff. I can't bring,
Yeah.
like, if I've got a couple joints on me, I can't bring my joints in
Yeah.
here. I can't. And it's like you create a system where you're supposed to be helping people, but
Yeah.
in turn, you somehow,
Shunning
make it
them?
harder for them.
Yeah.
You can't be
Yeah.
on medication-assisted treatment.
Yeah.
Like,
At all?
At all. So you can be on the Sublocade shot because it's a shot, right? But
you
if
need
you're
pills.
But if
Yeah.
you're on like prescription Suboxone, you can't.
you can't go to the methadone clinic and be in the mission.
I'm sure one person ruined it for everybody. You know how that is.
Yeah, I'm
That's
sure,
the
but
thing.
I think
sure.
it's more of a stigma thing.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I've heard a lot of, and this isn't coming at anybody, but I've heard a lot of, people. I knew a guy specifically that, like, he would get morphine patches, like, for his pain, for his chronic pain, and he would sell that for heroin because he didn't like the way morphine made him feel. And it's like, it's one of those things where I've seen people that, like, it kind of goes back to that one size. There's no such thing as a one size fit all.
No.
You can't just give, oh, well, you're in pain. You're used to this. Let me give you this. Even though it's different, it might not help in that situation. And I know, like, Suboxone, it's one of those things where it can save lives, but it also is something that people use as currency sometimes. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It can be used in every
Well,
single way.
They use it as currency. It can be used to be abused in certain ways if
Yeah.
you use it incorrectly. There's a lot of
Yeah.
different variables with all these things. But
Yeah.
like you said, one size doesn't fit all.
No.
So
I'm
there's-
sure there was a government. There's probably some type of pressure, like, if we find out that if somebody ODs from a drug they weren't prescribed in here, now you guys are liable. And
Yeah.
insurance thing. It all goes back to government, insurance, and trying to control them.
it's lots and lots of oversight.
Yeah. But they did just pass a thing recently where if you have a sober living house now in the state of Indiana, you have to allow people who are on methadone to live there. Like, you have to make that work. Whereas before, that wasn't a thing. Like, there were very few. I'd say I could count on one hand, like, right now, the number of sober living houses that will allow you to be on methadone. But they're changing that now. If you don't let people on methadone, you have to shut down.
Are there a decent amount of sober living houses in Kokomo?
The number's climbing. There's not
Yeah.
a whole lot. But
Right.
Are they
Kokomo's doing better
institutions or
than-
private, or are they church? Like, do you know anything
I think
about?
there's kind of both.
Yeah, there's a little mixture of both of them.
Yeah.
Kokomo's really on top of things as far as that goes. I mean, everything could be better, and the way it's handled could be better. But like the surrounding counties, there's not
Yeah,
the
there's
options that
not.
Kokomo does.
I know there's, like, Anderson has a decent amount of them, and
Yeah.
then Kokomo. So between there's
Like
not.
Grant County don't have anything.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, they've got a few, but they're all faith-based. I think they might all be faith-based in Kokomo, except for I think there's the Oxford House that's not faith-based.
Yeah.
But I know that Wabash or Restored Life, they've got a few of them, and they're faith-based, but they're not like
It's loose.
restricted.
It's loose,
It's they'll let anybody,
Gotcha.
That's good.
that fits their criteria.
It's weird to me that you would be required to go by a certain faith just to seek help.
It's
That's
weird.
such,
Yeah,
it seems
it's
so
real strange.
backwards to me, especially even for a religious organization, and be like, well, if you're gonna be here, you gotta like Jesus. And it's like, isn't that like the antithesis of what the whole concept of it is?
Yeah.
Isn't it supposed to be faith by choice? Like,
Yeah.
the whole concept is,
Yeah,
Part of me got here
Kokomo.
because of my weird relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
So sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, in a sense that, like, some people struggle because they don't have faith, or they don't believe in the faith of Jesus or God or whatever the church may be pushing.
Yeah.
And not to, like, I'm not the most religious person in the world by any means, but like, I feel like sometimes maybe people got in that position because maybe they were shunned from religion, and it helped push them into the situation that they're in now, or varying different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of trauma in the church, and that's one of the things that people don't. You know what I mean? If you come from a good, like, let's say you come from a really great church, like a lot of people can. You can come from a church community where people treat each other with respect. There's a lot less hypocrisy. There's a lot less, judgmentalness, which is a huge part of it. And you could come from that, and maybe you don't understand how bad a church can actually be.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are certain I've been to certain churches where you're like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like, even as a kid, you get the vibe.
Right.
You know what I mean? Even if you don't
Yeah.
know what's going on, you get the vibe. You're like, yeah, they're giving us a lot of candy and telling us to come back, but this seems weird. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, we'll pick you up in our van, and you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No?
I specifically remember one that was like that when I was a kid. Like, full-size candy bars.
Yeah, you go there and you come back with a sugar high, and your parents would be like, "Thank God the kids left for an hour and a half." You know?
You get more candy if you get baptized every Sunday.
He's been baptized
Bunch of times.
That's an addiction behavior. Here, you get something. You get a dopamine hit every time you come to our church. You know, they kind of want that.
Had to dig deep, and it's their fault.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's blame the church.
Now pay your
Blame
tithes.
the church.
Right.
20%. Is it 20, 20 15, 30?
Something like that.
I don't know. I give 20% to my waitresses, so I don't know how much
Right.
I give to my church. I think it's 5. Is it 10 or 5?
10 or 20.
I have no idea.
Depends on how much you want Jesus to like you.
Yeah. Well, that's what they tell us.
Depends on what you're looking to get back as a return.
My mom's gonna be mad at me for this. I'm just kidding. She doesn't go. My mom's one of those people that's super religious but never goes to church. But
Yeah.
like, say something bad about church, and I'm like, "Why don't you go?" And she's like, "I don't really like any church." I'm like, "See?"
Yeah.
Nah, I grew up with a mom. She would always say, "The church isn't a place; it's a people." And I'm like, "I know."
That's
That's part of the problem.
The people.
Yeah.
Touche. I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for what you guys are doing. I'm happy that you guys are finding a way to go outside of the government system and kind of provide people with recovery relief in a form of a group every Sunday. And then on top of it, you guys, like I said, let's bring that back up. I want to see people to see some of the services, the peer coaching, the group meetings. I like that you guys are doing the closet thing.
Yeah.
That's really cool because my fiance, she does a lot of clothing stuff, and if we end up taking anything to Goodwill, we'll just hit you up instead. That's better
absolutely.
anyway.
And we give it to people for free. Like, we don't charge anybody anything for really anything. You know, right now, since we're just up and going, most of our services are just donated to the community. Like, we legitimately just want to help people find their way into happiness and a good life. So
Funding is an issue, like, and that's where it's hard to not try to look to the state level and look to all that. There's just we got to be careful with people wanting to change things and stuff like that. And donations are always good, but it just feels really good, and that's the reward system. It is. We both work for Wabash right now, and that's a recovery place. Like, I'm working on the 28-day, and also she's the same place, but it just feels good to help people.
It does. We just care. You know, I think if anybody, if I want anybody to know anything, you know, is that if you're living in a lifestyle and you feel like nobody gives a shit, because I know how that feels, and I used to live like that. Like, we give a shit, you know, like, we care a lot about everyone and what anyone is going through, and we are just here to help in whatever way that we possibly can.
I like that.
Love that. Yeah.
Ignite Recovery. Check them out on Facebook. Let me go back over there. I went the wrong way. Gosh dang it, the wall. There it is. Ignite Recovery. Go check them out on Facebook. Give them a follow. If you know anybody who needs help and you're like, hey, I know you're not necessarily wanting to work in that system. That wasn't comfortable for you. Hit them up and say, hey, you guys are willing to help. That's what's important. And you guys have a phone number on here. You guys are doing a lot, so that's good. I mean, and like I said, if they don't have a phone, some people don't. They can always just message on Facebook and hit you guys up, which is good. I appreciate you guys coming by and hanging out with us. I know we talked a little bit about what you guys do and everything, and then we goof off. And and I like how you guys are game for goofing. It's always fun, man. But thank you so much, Eric. Right?
Yep.
Bri, right?
Yes.
Sisk.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. I'm horrible with names.
I am too.
Yeah. I almost want to say Aaron, and I'm like, no, it's not Aaron. Eric. Yeah. I'm like trying to. Luckily, we're both Jordan, so you can say Jordan, and we both are like, what? What? Yeah. But he does have a bunch of fun names, so it just depends.
I do. It's really because I have multiple personality disorder.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Why am
I
Melly,
just
baby?
embrace it. I embrace it.
Yes.
You have.
Well, good to meet you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been fun, guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead and say goodbye, Belle.
Yo, what's up?
Tell 'em what
Later,
got.
you can see me on shit or something.
Find
I
me
don't know.
places.
Find me places.
And then we've got
It's
Eric.
on shit.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Bri. And I am Jordan Grainger. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast with Ignite Recovery. Thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. Hey, you just listened to the Kokomo Press Podcast. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you had a great time. If you did, go ahead and like us, subscribe to us, hit that notification bell, do all the things to help us get seen. Go find us over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. Like us, follow us there. And if you want to really, really help us out, we now have a new thing called Facebook subscriptions. It's only $4.99 a month, and it helps us build out even more than what we have already. Helps us get more equipment, helps us put money into shows, because we give you comedy shows, we give you guys skits, we give you guys podcasts, we give you guys jokes. And if you want to be a part of a group of people that actually get to talk to us and tell us your input first and get to directly speak to us, and maybe even, help us write some of these jokes, you can be a part of the group. Join that subscriber base. It's only $4.99 a month, and it's not a lot, but it helps us out tremendously. And it's going to give you an opportunity to maybe win some merch here and there. We're going to do a lot of fun things with our subscribers. So please check us out everywhere you can. And if you want to, subscribe to our page. Thanks for listening to this podcast. We love you. Thank you. 2 kisses.